Formula One breaking news. Ricciardo is leaving McLaren. Hey, are you guys interested in McLaren? Have you heard about Daniel Ricciardo leaving it? Here, we are back again with more breaking news. Hello friends and welcome back to Formula One News. Today, we are going to discuss current news in the Formula One world. We've heard Ricciardo's leaving McLaren, so here's everything you need to know about it. And before that, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure you hit the bell icon too to watch more videos just like this. Daniel Ricciardo is regarded as a top-tier race car driver and is considered to have one of the most prominent personalities in Formula One. However, since he moved to McLaren in 2021, he's been completely overshadowed by his considerably less experienced colleague, Lando Norris. As a result, both he and the organization are trying to find solutions for how to go from this point forward. Is this truly the way that it comes to an end for the well-known Australian? After the chief executive officer of McLaren, Zak Brown, frankly acknowledged that the results so far hadn't lived up to the expectations for the relationship, there have been a lot of talks lately regarding the future of the 32-year-old driver with his present squad. Brown said on the television program Any Driven Monday on Sky that both McLaren and Ricciardo had anticipated more from each other, which cannot be anything other than the truth. Ricciardo's been working at Woking for the last 18 months, and it's becoming more difficult to pinpoint why things haven't gone according to plan. The fact that the fans like Ricciardo make this intra-dream drama more headline-grabbing, particularly if much of their F1 knowledge has come through Netflix's F1, Drive to Survive, in which he is one of the key protagonists. This helps to explain why so many people are talking about it. He unquestionably has the greatest charm, and throughout the series, he has maintained the most true-to-life depiction of anybody. If you haven't been keeping up with the program, you should know that he once competed for Red Bull Racing and was quite successful there. He won a lot of races. Ricciardo, however, felt the team was unfairly favoring Max Verstappen in every decision they made, thus he decided to transfer to Renault to take responsibility for his destiny. The transition to Renault worked as he defeated his colleague Esteban Ocon and led the team to its first podium in years. This success continued until 2020 when Ricciardo decided to move on to McLaren. The transfer to McLaren simply hasn't worked out the way many people, including me, would have anticipated it would have. The reason behind this is unknown. Although Norris did not completely dominate Ricciardo in 2021, the young British driver did end up making the most of McLaren's trophies and spending the majority of the season in third place in the Drivers' Championship. After a difficult race at Monza, Daniel Ricciardo was able to bring home the checkered flag for McLaren for the first time in a very long time. However, Ricciardo did not have any other moments that stood out. In the end, Norris won the race with 160 points against Ricciardo's 115. Nevertheless, 2022 offered a fresh opportunity to achieve one's goals. Both McLaren and Ricciardo got off to probably the most difficult start to the season that they possibly could have. First, the team was unable to fix the vehicle after altering the front axle, which rendered it practically impossible to drive. As a result, they were unable to complete more than around 100 laps over 3 days of testing in Bahrain. Then, Ricciardo became ill with COVID and was forced to sit out the rest of the race. In the end, he was able to make it back in time for the first race, but it was obvious that the team was about as unprepared as it was reasonably possible to be anyhow, though Norris had volunteered for more testing time. The McLaren 2022 vehicle has turned out to be an intriguing creature, and although it seems to have the porpoising issue under control, the team and drivers are still finding it difficult to understand it on a variety of levels. Since the chronic humiliation of a points-free Bahrain opening, Norris claims he's had to relearn how to drive it, and it still appears to be a gamble whether or not it'll be any good at most tracks. This phenomenon appeared for the first time in 2018 at the racetrack in Monaco and Barcelona. At those two locations, it seemed to favor one driver over the other. In Barcelona, a nauseous Norris just missed out on qualifying for Q3, but he still managed to get the car into the points in a race that he had been throwing up on the grid just before. In the meanwhile, Ricciardo finished behind the teammate that he had previously out-qualified due to an unexpected loss of grip that caused him to slip rearward. Ricciardo was defeated by Norris in both qualifying and the race in Monaco, although Norris was still unwell enough to have avoided his media obligations. After dropping one spot to George Russell due to pit stops, Norris finished 6th overall and had the best lap of the race. Following a significant accident during practice, Ricciardo finished in 13th place overall. Their current point differential is a chasm. Norris has 48, while Ricciardo just has 11. Anyone who has had the misfortune to monitor social media replies on a team account knows that one pit stop or strategy mistake during a race can turn fans into furious ranting machines. The pressure on F1 drivers and teams to perform is intense, and anyone who has had this experience knows that fans can become furious over the smallest of mistakes. It may be liberating to let go of whatever expectations others have of you. Ricciardo's performance in Monaco the year before was so poor that the race almost felt like an opportunity for him to start again. On Drive to Survive, we witness him tell his trainer and fellow Australian Michael Italiano, "What if I'm just a blank?" after getting lapped by Chuck Norris, insinuating that he could have, for no apparent reason, forgotten how to drive. It's possible that it's not just that, but rather the fact that Ricciardo joined the team just as it was making the changeover to a Mercedes power unit, which was something he'd never driven before. But then, neither had Norris. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton now seem rather ordinary, or have even been bested by their teammates as a result of the 2022 cars, which are a problem for every team. Moreover, the 2022 cars are a nuisance for every team. Even more, questions are raised regarding Ricciardo's performance when Norris admits he's not driving as well as he would want to be driving at this point. And why should one lose their patience now, when there are still so many races left and such a lengthy season? Ricciardo's a quick driver and is a much safer pair of hands than a junior Formula driver or one from outside F1, like rising IndyCar driver Pato O'Ward. Especially in an era where teams are brushing up against budget caps as damages from crashes pile up. In particular, this is the case in an era where teams are racing against the clock to repair the damage that has been caused by accidents. Since Brown's first statements, the situation has become tenser. During a news conference held at the Indy 500, he made a veiled allusion to the existence of mechanisms that may lead to the release of Daniel Ricciardo from a contract that, legally speaking, does not expire until the end of 2023. Although there are rumors that Nicholas Latifi's stint at Williams could be done after this year, other than that, things are relatively locked in, especially with Sergio Perez's deal with Red Bull. If Mclaren did that, then it's hard to see where Ricciardo would go on the grid. As a result of Ricciardo's actions at Renault, not only did he break the heart of Renault's former team boss, Cyril Abiteboul, but it's also unlikely that Renault will want him back. This is especially true in comparison to Fernando Alonso, and after 2 years of being unable to get Mclaren to perform properly. Ricciardo's future in Formula One is most likely over as a result of this puzzling development. Ricciardo was able to defeat Sebastian Vettel when he was a young and raw talent at Red Bull, and he even held his own against Verstappen until the latter decided to depart and avoid the changeover to Honda power. It seemed that he had developed into a strong development driver at Renault, but when he came to McLaren Technology Center, he felt a bit disoriented, although it's practically just a short distance down the road from Red Bull. Well, that's all for this video. Let us know in the comment box who's your favorite driver. Also, if you like the information, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. And also make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to watch more videos like this. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.